Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And how are you today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Here's the Daily Crumb to help you along your way. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Daily Crumb. Whatever time of day this is for you, welcome to the Daily Crumb. With me, Winky Snee Majaki Quick, your friendly, freaky ass, sweet grass water, medicine woman. Also Christiana Carr, Chris Carr, superstar. All this beautiful divine being right here. Welcome, all you beautiful divine beings right here too. I don't know if you'll notice, the setup's a little different. I had some help come in that ended up being like the help before and didn't really listen and really threw my whole routine, my morning ritual and everything off. I wasn't here yesterday because I could not find my self-care card. So I've been devastated and going through lots of trauma and feeling torn because I appreciate all the help, but the help went too far and they really overstepped some boundaries. And they betrayed my trust. They weren't supposed to touch my desk, and they did. And this is all sacred areas. My job is, my business begin within, and I do that. This is my begin within work. And I look, and there's little things here that have little reminders and significance to me that nobody else would see as significant. But there was some things that were obviously in use that were cleaned out and thrown out. You know, I have a mug and it said, believe with all your heart. And I would look over at that. It was right there, bright red. The handle was broken. Wasn't good to use as a drinking thing, but I used it, put my pens and stuff in. I utilize everything because I come from very, very humble beginnings. We had nothing. So we had to make use of everything. You know, I heard somebody say that, oh, they had to get new clothes every time because, you know, and I was like, well, for us, it wasn't like we had new clothes every time. We had to reuse those clothes. If we can get one more wear out of them to lessen the times we did the laundry. So everything I've got has just been just little. And I collect little things in little spaces, but they're sentimental. And we talked about it on here too. It's those little joys. These things brought me little joy every day when I looked around at them. So they dismantled my little clusters of joy. To others, it might look like clutter, but for me, they're clusters, little clusters of joy. And they took them all out. And my kitchen stuff too, I got my whole medicine cupboard was cleared. If I'd had made my medicine, there would have been stuff in those bottles. They wouldn't have been thrown out. But even actual medicine in jars, prescription that had full that I could have used, because you know they do help a little bit in times when I'm out of my tincture. So I've been vibrating. It's very painful for me. Haven't been able to sleep, tossing and turning. Feel violated. Actually, I really kind of do. Because I was told they weren't going to touch my desk, and they did some stuff I was told it wasn't going to happen. And I think what happened, beautiful, beautiful beings, they really wanted to help, but they got their own vision of what they wanted to do for me instead of, I need you, okay? If you want to help me, don't have your own vision for me. Help get my vision. Help to try and see the vision I have for myself. You know, anybody that wants to help me, try to help have the vision I have for myself, not your vision for me. Not what you think I should do and all that, right? Because I know great people have some great ideas and this spiritual and, you know, they said, well, I thought about your medicines and all these little bottles. Like, this is my medicines. This is my stuff. They wanted to set up my office space and everything. And I'm just agreeing because I'm in my fight or flight, and that's me. I fawn. I freeze and I fawn, or, you know, whatever that is, right? Because the conflict. I only fight enough to get myself away to safety. That's where my fight comes in, just to get me to safety. That's how I was raised too. So I was just agreeing, and I didn't want to show them that I was a hoarder. So I let go of a lot of stuff I really didn't want to let go of that were part of my healing journey here. that hasn't been with me forever. Like, I'll keep little things from, like, right here. It's a tiny little thing. I chewed it up. That was from my grade 9 guitar class. But that's it. I have some other binders. I kept papers, but I kept little things that don't take up much space that I could pack up and have in a little box to take with me. Memory stimulators, you know? I have all these rocks that, hey, I know where they came from, and especially when they're grouped with others. I got my pussy willow. That was devastating when I thought I couldn't find my pussy willow. You see a little bit of it here. And I just found that, and that's for people that have been through multiple traumas, and I did. And this whole cleaning thing was a trauma. And now I was feeling like, no, I don't want them to come back. But then I do want them to come back because now they know where everything is. Where did you put these things? Does this actually get thrown out? You know? And they knew. They could have done more to find that stuff. So I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. I mean, I love the people, and that's where I get upset. I don't want them to feel bad. Don't want it to seem like I'm ungrateful. Because I am grateful, but I'm not a hoarder. I'm not somebody that needs to be taught how to let go of things. I have no problem doing that. And I've lost. I've had to lose a lot of things. And being in here, I was just starting. Okay, I had it cleared out many times. It got cluttered up again in the summer. Because then I was just starting to find things and piece things together. Things that go together in different boxes. But I know that I have these pieces. Nobody else would know that. So, oh, this is half of something, and throw it out. A puzzle box got thrown out because it was empty. But it was sitting on top of the puzzle that I had just done over the weekend. So that's why it was still out. But I went to put it away. I got called away to something. So I put the puzzle box on top of the puzzle. And then I was told it got thrown out because it was empty. So I am very upset. Some of it that thinks like this should be common sense and logical. It's sitting on an empty puzzle box. Oh, there's a puzzle. Maybe it goes in her. I don't know. So I'm upset. And I hope they replace some things, because there's some things that can be replaced that I can't afford to replace these things. Some things that I collected for a while, that everything had a plan. Everything was going to be used. You know, I'm saving for workshops and stuff for my business. I have room in my garage. Everything could have went out there. But they didn't listen to my plan. They got a plan of their own. And then what I needed the most help with didn't get done. And it feels like a lot of the things where I'd already gotten a start on it, I made a dent in it myself. The things I'd already had sorted, now I've got to go through and sort them all again. I had already had things set out and put in the general areas where I wanted them, and they had their own idea and moved everything around. They bit off more than they can chew for the time that they were here, and now I'm not even going to get the whole time that I was told I was going to get. And so I'm not even getting all the things that I needed, the things that I put down on the list. I can't even find my list, and that notebook has other very important things in there too. And I told them I write papers, and now I've got old papers. Oh my God. Things that were on the go. So I'm sorry. There's a daily crumb. Let's skip this one. Move on to the next. Thanks for listening. Okay. Anybody else have things like that, you know, where you get this help and you're grateful for it, but yet that's crossed some boundaries, and then it actually kind of went backwards. It was like counterproductive or counterintuitive. I don't know, whatever that's called. Have you ever felt that? And then you're feeling guilty for being upset because your things were some very important, very special, and irreplaceable. Some things were very irreplaceable. The only value they had was to me, you know. Nobody else would know that but me. So they didn't go through as carefully as they should have. And I gotta learn to speak up. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, let's get to a daily crumb, hey?